Okay, today we're going to talk about how to grind flaxseed and cinnamon. Now we know flaxseed is excellent for lowering your cholesterol. I am living proof of that, so is my husband. You want to get raw flaxseed. You can get Bob's Red Mill. You can get it at Kroger. It's close to the produce section. Actually, this is the Kroger brand that I got. But really anything will do as long as it's raw flaxseed. Okay, definitely not roasted. Don't get it already ground up because then it's lost all of its nutrients, and you only want to ground no more than a week's worth because then the oils dissipate. It's great omega-3s. The cinnamon, it's proven, and again, with my husband having type 2 diabetes, to grind fresh cinnamon from the cinnamon bark. As you can see, I just got this as a new brand from Kirkland's or Costco, but any cinnamon sticks will do. You want to break them up into little pieces before putting them into something like this, which is your, Krups coffee grinder. Though these days we don't use it for coffee, we use it for grinding up flaxseed and cinnamon. So just wanted to show you what it is, how easy it is to do. I'm going to have my helpful assistant here hold the camera while I do so. Okay, so first we're going to do the flaxseed. Okay, so literally, you just pour some in. Get every little bit. And this is going to help with your cholesterol. Have 2 tablespoons a day, whether you mix it in Greek yogurt, have it by itself with some water and some stevia, sprinkle the half a teaspoon of cinnamon in it, and it'll be kind of like a porridge. I'm not saying it's going to be the most delicious thing that you've had, but bottom line, it is the healthiest thing you will have had. And it's definitely A-OK with diabetes. You don't have to worry about, like with oatmeal. Sometimes they say it's okay to have it, sometimes it's not. For my husband, it's not. This is what you want to do. Okay, it's going to get a little loud. Now I stop at this point because the oil, sometimes it gets a little gunked up, and I shake it. Just to make sure that you don't want any of the little, hard pieces of the flaxseed. They're just like sesame seeds. It's not that hard, but you don't want anything to remain. You want it all to turn to powder. So it's good to shake it periodically. Shake it again. That's just my preference. You don't have to do it. Okay, so now let's see how it looks. Perfection. Okay, so then put it into a glass jar so that it doesn't leach out from any plastic. It would have been helpful if I had the jar out beforehand, but you get the idea. Let me unplug it so I don't get electrocuted. And just scoop it into your mason jar for later use. Be sure to refrigerate it because that will keep it fresh. And again, you don't want to use any more than this. For now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it in here because we need to move it along so that I can show you how to do the cinnamon all in one video. See, sometimes it gets a little thick in there, okay? All right. Okay. And I will wipe it out so that you don't have any flaxseed in your cinnamon because that might not be too tasty. And don't try to bake with flax. A lot of people think that they're doing something wonderful because they have bread with flaxseed in it or whatever. Whole flaxseed, as good as it sounds and as healthy as it seems to be, it actually is very hard on the digestive system, okay? So don't do it. Don't waste those precious flax seeds. Just grind them up. You could even put them if you have a smoothie, but usually for those that are diabetic, they're not doing smoothies and stuff. They're just doing just the basic. Have the flaxseed with water or whatever it is that, you're allowed to have with stevia, and cinnamon. Okay, so this is cleaned out. And let me clean out the top. Sorry this is taking so long, but hey, it's a learning video. Okay. Okay, so now we've got this cinnamon. And again, you don't want to buy already ground up cinnamon. Gonna break it into pieces, not easy. Sometimes you have to break it with a mallet. You don't want to buy already ground up cinnamon because in the 12 studies that were done in New York lab or whatever, it was that the majority of cinnamon was all wood dust, like sawdust, and cinnamon oil, or just a very little bit of real cinnamon, because it's expensive. All right, I can't break that one, I'll have to wait. Okay, and the benefits of real cinnamon, freshly ground, the oils while they're still fresh, is just fantastic for diabetes. A half a teaspoon a day. I don't care how you do it. Obviously, don't take it, by the spoonful. It can choke you. So sprinkle it into something. Okay, here we go. You can hear that crackling noise. You know it's not done. You don't want to hear any of that crackling because it's got to be powdered. You don't want any stars at all. Takes longer because, it is wood type, And again, I like to shake it just in case anything's stuck at the bottom. Shake it a little bit more. You can still hear that little bit of crackling, so you keep going. You won't believe how great this smells. It's so amazing. It just adds so much more flavor to anything that you're cooking for the rest of the family too. Sounds pretty good. Now let's look at it. Make sure you unplug it. You don't want to get electrocuted. And keep the top on for a second because, the smoke of the cinnamon will... Okay. It looks beautiful. Okay. So literally that's it. You just put that into a small mason jar as well. Keep a tight lid on it, and that is your cinnamon. And just do as much as you think you'll use in a reasonable period of time. Again, recommended, and I was doing this before. Now all of the studies have come out that cinnamon is so fantastic for you, especially for diabetes. Well, I can tell you it truly does work. Do a half a teaspoon of cinnamon daily, whatever you're going to put it in. Again, personally, we've done, just to get it all done first thing in the morning, like a porridge. You can make it as thick or as loose as you want, but you do 2 tablespoons of the flaxseed, a half a teaspoon of the cinnamon, and then stevia, for flavor, or Trevia, whatever, with water. Mix it up and just eat it. Not the most fantastic thing, but certainly fabulous for your cholesterol and your diabetes. Other things to remember: turmeric specifically with black pepper, because the black pepper helps you to retain all of the goodness from the turmeric. It helps with inflammation, which is so important when dealing with any cancers or really anything, especially if you're fighting a cold. When you get sick, it's really great to have bone broth, which I can always show you how to make that if you don't know how to make bone broth. It is so good for you. Bone broth with turmeric, cayenne pepper in there. All of these things help to fight inflammation and infection. And I think that's it. So hope this helps, and God bless.